We got no issues, you must say, but baby, I can't forget you, you a special kind of lady. Cause when I'm with you, girl, you know that you amaze me. Shea butter, save me, my shea butter, baby. Ooh, we got no issues, you must shea butter, baby. I had to get you, you a special kind of lady. And when I'm with you, girl, I can't forget you.
I can't forget you.
The way you say,
Hey, she was like, hey boy, what it do? I think I got.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? You're talking to Jamie Radiance Moorhead, your favorite Christian life coach. Yes, your favorite Christian life coach and your future Christian life coach. I know I am really not prepared to do a live. And the reason why is because I got up early thinking that I had an interview this morning. And it's not till this afternoon. So technically, I really could be at a location that I need to be at in Murfreesboro this morning, and I'm not there. And because I got my times mixed up. So I decided to come on here and do a quick live video to touch bases with y'all, see how you're doing, tell you happy Saturday, you feel me? And I wanted to, and I should have uploaded this before I turned the live on, but I didn't. A video that I saw on TikTok that Luke, you know Luke, Luke, back in the day. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't really know who Luke is. Okay, so Luke had did a video talking about the situation with Diddler. And let me pull it up. I'm not prepared. Okay. We're gonna do that. Oh, see, okay, so listen, you guys. Luke cusses, okay? And I'm really sorry, but he cusses. But what he does say is from another person's view. And then we're going to talk about influence and the power of influence. And I've been telling several people, I think the most frustrating thing is if there's somebody who is telling the truth and that they aren't, I would like to say they don't have a popularity with the people, they get dismissed, right? Or people don't listen to what they have to say. But it seems to me, and it's always going to go back to Romans 1-2, that people are willing to invest in lies. Like they entertain lies more than the truth. And that's the state we're in. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the state that we're in. It is frustrating at times to just even watch it. So, for years you hear rumors about Diddy.
That's because
You see, oh wait, hold on, y'all. I didn't mean for that to start. But they put people up, like you got to say, put them up on a pedestal. We put the wrong people on a pedestal, and it just makes me wonder, like the character, like how do we assess character as people? And we got to question that. How do we assess character as people? I think we're very surface level, for sure. Very, very surface level. And we do not watch the actions of people. So if you see somebody being consistent, even without being supported, that's probably the person that you really need to support. But we won't because that person's consistency shows a flaw in our inconsistencies. Therefore, our jealousy and our envy will creep in, and you'll be like, we'll begin to hate that person. And I say we because I just try to make sure that I say we, but it's not me. Like, not me, but we, like, people, that is the overall population and their response to things. That's why was on one podcast, and the guy was like, we don't have to tell people uh the real goal of the mission. And it's true, you don't. All you have to do is tap into their emotions. You have to tap into what they are going through. You got to tap into that vulnerability and that emotional side of people for them to blindly follow you. And it's kind of easy. So for instance, with the male community that we have now, people tapped into the fact that men don't feel heard, or they don't get to say the things that they want to say no matter how ugly they are, right? Or they don't feel like they have a safe space. And so you see that took off like a wildfire. And but then you have the ugly parts of the community with that, because they have been through some things. Some of these men have been through some things, and they have not healed. And not at all, because if you jump into other situations real quick, you have not faced the music about yourself. Like, you just don't. You don't have to, because you're already like in another relationship, and you got in that relationship to get over the previous relationship, but you didn't even process why the previous relationship really ended and what parts you played in ending that, right? And that's what they like to say, that that's what women do. But I got another video that Charleston White did, which I need to pull that up too, where he says a lot of times when a woman leaves a bad relationship, where the relationship is bad and she ends up having to leave, she finds the reason why women heal is because she finds religion. Now, it's not all women that do that, you know what I'm saying? But a vast majority is doing that. They trying to find something greater than themselves to help heal them, to help the trauma, to get rid of the wounds, like the emotional and the spiritual wounds. Because to be honest, like for me personally, I don't want to go into any situation in which I don't do that. I don't go into the next situation holding somebody else accountable for the previous person's actions. And I know that a lot of times people do, because again, you don't take the alone time. I think that I know it's hard for people to believe sometimes, but because everybody always leaves and then they go into something else because they're leaving because they feel like that something else is better. The worst probably feeling, I would say, is to leave and then the person is leaving because they want to be better. Like, they don't have no plan B, no plan C. They are gonna, heal and then wait for um the right person. Um, Hold on. And so I'm gonna play that video too. But we're gonna start off with the Diddler, because I want to talk about influence. And because Diddy was cool. Diddy had the money. Diddy threw the best parties. And so you'll overlook things said or weird behavior because you're benefiting off of this person's sin, and you're not having to pay, right? And so let's listen to what Luke said. Now, please again, you guys, I know like my following is believers. Please, you guys, please understand, I do not agree with Luke Cusson, but he does state a thought process that we need to understand when it comes to the industry and influence, because a lot of believers that say they're believers still support these stars, these people. And that's just what it is. And so with that being said, let's dive in, because I'm actually going to be watching this for the first time with y'all, in a sense, because I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched some of it and I said, oh, he's saying some good stuff, but I want to kind of give this reaction while we're together. So you please join me. Please join me in does it let me switch the hold on, y'all. You know I'm over here trying to try stuff right now. I'm trying to maneuver stuff because you know your girl don't know. So let's see if I can bring that in. Nope, it won't let me. What? Okay, so let's see. I need to pick. Like I have a custom layout, but I don't. Lord. All right, let's go. Let's go with this one. That way, you know, my facial expressions ain't far away because those be the most exciting part, right?
The guy, they place you on every network. They sold you to all y'all on here. They gave you 5 million followers. They put all this, they dress you up like a fucking hoe on the street. They gave you the Bugattis. They gave you the mansions on 2 different coasts. They put you up on a pedestal because they need you. It's like some pimp shit. When you got your main girl, you dress her up and she look like this and look like that and do this and you march her into the big room. I'm telling you. So when they put you on that motherfucking pedestal, and then you start thinking it's about you, and you want to take over their shit, them people look back like this. Hold on, who the fuck you think he is? Oh, we'll show you better than we can tell you. Then they'll try to reason with you, and they'll talk to your manager, because your manager look like them. And they'll be like, hey, man, tell your man to chill out, you know? And then the manager come in, and he trying to keep his job. Hey, guy, calm down. And then you go walk around like it's all about you. You got all the cars and the mansions and the jets and all the yachts and all this and all the people running around. You talking about, yeah. And now you want to fight. Now you want to bite the hand that feeds you. Don't your mama always tell you that? Your mama say, never bite the hand that feeds you. And so this is how the major corporations work when you try to come after them. Now you put a lawsuit in. Bam, lawsuit. Fuck that shit. I'm suing their ass. I'm take their company down. Fuck that shit. They taking my brand and my name and likeness and they making millions of dollars. I want out of this contract. And now, mind you, these people on the stock market, they stock go down 5%. That just cost them some billions. So they're looking at this motherfucker to the shareholders. This motherfucker is affecting our stock. They gotta hold on. You just fucked up some billions of dollars. These are major corporations that are on the stock market that you can affect their stock and cost them in one day billions of dollars by having their stock drop because your sneakers.
Let's back up real quick. So there's a part that he was talking about, you know, don't bite the hand that feeds you. And or he, you know, somebody could get a certain amount of power. And I like the diddler was on a bunch of stuff. And I like to say that he's definitely possessed with some spirits. So right, we know that he is definitely demonized for sure. Once you go over into sexual perversion and stuff like that, I'm gonna go ahead and read Romans 1 again, because literally you're seeing Romans 1 in the diddler's life. You seeing it. You seeing the manifestation of Romans 1. Okay. But he was talking about like, you bite the hand that feeds you. Like they didn't put you on a pedestal. They didn't give you these followers. They didn't do this. And I should have pulled up the video about the content creator, the young white man who told his testimony about how when content creation started, they were offered to go to this party, and the party is crazy. The testimony is insane, but he's not lying. He ain't lying, because when Cat Williams went to one of them parties, he made the mistake of making a comedy skit about it. And that's when really they came for him. Never forget that, because he was like, he had said he opened up a door and seen Professor Obi with another man. And Professor Obi was in the audience when he cracked the joke. And if you trace the timeline, that's when they start coming for Cat Williams bad. bad, but he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. So now everybody's like, now it's gonna be like, oh well, my business, what I do in my bedroom is not my business. It is. It's our business because you've made it our business, and you pretended to be something you weren't in the public. You pretended to be a public figure, and a public figure has, just like a pastor, just like a prophet, just like a preacher, has a standard of living that they should be living by. Not because you got money and power, you should be perverse and nasty and filthy and lucre. Like, you should not be full of debauchery. Like, that's what you shouldn't be. But even the church is like that too. So I might go off right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I'm talking about this, see how the Lord works. He was like, get dressed, girl, get dressed. But like, I thought I was getting dressed for this interview, and I'm not. I ain't dressed for the interview. I'm dressed for this right now. So it says, I'm gonna start at Proverbs 16. We'll start at 16, because I want y'all to understand. It says, how much better than gold is it to gain wisdom? Okay. Yes, rather than money. Choose to gain understanding. Avoiding evil is the highway of the upright. He who watches his step preserves his life. Verse 18, pride goes before destruction, and arrogance before failure. Better to be humble among the poor than to share the spoil with the proud. He who has skill in a matter will succeed. Okay, so this gets better. It gets better for the people that like put it forward to Adonai. But I want you to listen to this. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back because this is where I want you to focus. It is pride goes before destruction. Do you see destruction in Diddy's life? It says the wages of sin is death. Do you see death in Diddy's life right now? Do you? Because I do. It says arrogance before failure. So he got arrogant. He got beside himself. He didn't humble himself. I am sure that before everything went public, in private, he was approached. I know that's what happened, because a lot of times people don't want to go public because it's like going public embarrasses you too. Because if you want to look at certain situations, you be looking stupid. And is it a willful stupid, or is it just like life is so busy that you would not think that somebody would be this way or do these things? And so like the reality, or like in Cassie's situation, he had so much money. She had nothing. You get what I'm saying? So like, one, to find a lawyer that's going to take your case. Two, okay, we're going to try to settle this in private. And he was like, nah, I'm not doing nothing. Diddy, the dealer was like, I'm not doing that. Arrogance rose up, pride rose up. He at the top of his game. He got different incomes that have nothing to do with music. He finally found a girl that was just as dark as him, you know what I'm saying, that likes the type of things he likes. So he didn't have to convince her to be a hoe. She was okay with being a whore. And to be honest, she's very classy looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Very clean hair, always did fly. You feel me? Fly. And that's what she was. She was a fly hoe. But it was willing. He didn't have to beat it into her. He didn't have to make her do it. But with people like that, though, see, they got a lot of control and manipulation in him. But he conquered women. He conquered women. His ideal of power and fun was now conquering men, now conquering, seducing, and convincing men to do things for wealth and riches. It's just so, it's so deep. Like, it's so deep. But it says better to be humble among the poor than to share in the spoil with the proud. So like, God do not like proud people. You can boast in the Lord, yes, in the Lord and the strength of his might, but like, for you to be proud, because see, pride is what rose up in Lucifer for him to oppose his creator. You got to be a plum fool to know all that's up there in heaven and to think that because he made you the most beautiful and the most like just absolutely stunning, right? That you were better than your creator. Pride have you thinking that. Pride will have you thinking that. So let's finish this seeing what Luke said. Again, I apologize for the cursing. But listen to what another artist and see Luke. Okay, hold on. Because if for y'all don't know Luke, you know what I'm saying? Luke was very controversial when he started because he kind of started pushing the hoe and the pimp and that type of thing and the twerking and the half naked women and the drinking. He's very much so a very big part of instituting that into the rap industry. So what he's saying is partly what he had done too, because he basically sold out in a sense to be famous and rich. Never forget that. So it take one to know one. Understand that. Hold on.
You telling people you don't want them selling your stickers. Or you don't want them they stealing money from you, ain't paying you off the liquor. Them people like, hold the fuck on. Okay, get the lawsuit. Now when you get the lawsuit, you got to go to the judge, state judge. They definitely own the state judge because they're going to buy up the number one law firm who put the most money into the state judge, into the local judge campaign to make him the local judge. Big bank take little bank. It goes back to CeeLo. The federal judge, they're going to then find out what senator and congressman that called the president to say, I need an appointment for my federal judge, because how do you get an appointment for a federal judge is because I'm a major donor. And hey, man, I got a friend of mine that's a judge, man, on the circuit level. Man, I would love for him to be a federal judge, and I'm going to max out in your campaign. Matter of fact, I'm going to generate a couple $100,000 or $1 million to put in your campaign. You win the seat. You then call up the president. President then say, hey, look here, man, nominate this motherfucker right here. So now you got a fucking judge in here. You got the state judge. So then now you black man who don't own these people company, you want to talk all your cash money shit. And you want to go after these people, what ends up happening?
And let me say this too, and I don't care. I don't care how anybody feels about this or if they try to debunk it. Cases are discussed before they are tried. Understand that. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Cases are discussed before they are tried. So a lot of times you are walking into, it's already decided.
They started the smear campaign because they down with the media.
Yep.
They got to smear you.
Yep.
Before you go into the courtroom of your peers.
Yep. And understand this too, because I've been through the smear campaign a lot of times right now, still kind of going through the smear campaign. Every time I think I'm kind of coming out, here we go again type situation. People, and this is serious, stop letting the enemy use you to help people that are not doing right smear somebody that is. Stop. But in Diddy's case, they had to smear Diddy because Diddy got tapes on everybody. He got tapes and evidence on everybody. The same way they had, I ain't gonna say it because y'all gonna get mad at me when I say, you had to think about why they come for people. A lot of times, if somebody got evidence, like full on evidence, and I begin to smear them first before they go ahead and put the evidence out, the reason why the person that has the evidence is now everything's put into question is because the person doing a smear campaign is very convincing. Right. And so if I now put the evidence out, it looks like I'm only doing it in retaliation or because I'm bitter or because I'm angry or because I'm upset. Kanye West said something that was true. He said, stop praying for me and stop allowing people to just prey on me like a vulture. And because there's more that you can do other than pray. And it's true. Do something, help somebody. You get what I'm saying? But no, don't nobody want to do that. They don't. And yeah, come on, let's go, Luke.
Okay, we can't settle with this dude. We'll have no voice of reason. He want to act crazy. Now we're going to go after you. Now we're going to.
And there's no voice of reason because Diddy, in his mind, he did have the power because he had all the evidence on them to ruin their absolute lives. And that's everybody. That's from judges to lawyers to kings to queen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Diddy got the tapes. He got the dealer. The dealer got it. So he excused him for becoming proud or feeling like he had powers because he got his own evidence too.
Call up our same senator. Hey man, I need you, man, go issue a search warrant, man. I need you to drag this motherfucker. In the hood, that's what we call. I want you to drag his ass. I want you to have all kind of allegations. So by the time he come in this courtroom, he gonna wish he know we're gonna take every fucking dime you got. Cause we made you. You didn't make us.
Yeah.
God damn it. You fuck with my stock. You fuck with my money. You fuck with me. I'm gonna fuck with you. I'm gonna break your ass down to the lowest term. That's how this shit go, boss.
Mm-hmm.
So when you fuck with them people that put that bread in your pocket that made you, they're gonna take you down to the lowest terms. Sound like the movie Scarface. Bingo. That's how they do.
Yeah. I mean, it's proven. It's the same system.
They done smeared your name. By the time you get in the courtroom, you lost already because you're sitting up there with a jury looking at you like you're a fucking pedophile and you probably ain't never touched a little girl in your life. And you're trying to sue this major corporation, this major respectable corporation, and they're going to say how many people they employ, how many people, and half the people on the jury drink their shit. Half of the people on the jury, children walking around with their paraphernalia on. You getting ready to sue them, and they'd have made you through the media. They'd have made you a crazy man, and they'd have made you a goddamn pedophile. They'd have made you everything that you're not.
Yep.
I'm giving y'all some good shit today. Never bite the hand that feeds you. So now when you walk up in that room, and you make the deal, you cut the deal with the devil. And then you got one motherfucker, he want to talk about everybody else who's still in the room. You know, that's why I be sitting there looking at that shit. I'm like, he telling on everybody. You know, because you in the room, you know this motherfucker run this.
Yeah, he's talking about the guy that filed the latest case, and it's true. He is telling on everybody. I want to be honest. Like I said in one of my posts, I hope the dealer doesn't go down by himself. I hope he don't go down by himself. Take everybody with you. Take everybody with you. But this is the same formula they use for somebody who does not conform. So if you are somebody who does not sell out and you do not conform, it's the same formula. It's the same formula because they got to make you look crazy because they know you know the truth and you have evidence. And if you say what you need to say and people believe you, they know that there's just a few of them and it's a whole bunch of us. And that's what the fear is. That's what the fear is. That's why the enemy got to use lie, deceptiveness. He's got to do that. Got to. It is the same formula. If you just understand that, then you would be wise. You would be wise. And it's better to be wise and to gain understanding than to continue to fall for the okie doke.
This motherfucker, that motherfucker run that motherfucker there, you know. Now you really went rogue.
All right, that was it. So he was talking about that person. Yeah, that. Pray for that young man. Pray for that. I hope he's in like some kind of like witness protection program. Seriously, for real, because I am shocked that he has stated so much and with accuracy. Like, he's not lying. He ain't lying. And so then we are going. I'm going to read Romans 1, and then I'm going to move on to Charleston's video. I think I kind of like doing it this way because I usually do like the little TikToks and stuff like that. All right. All right, here we go. So we'll talk about that one in a second. But let me read Romans 1 to end the diddler situation. Oh, the diddler. You know what be sad? It's kind of like I be feeling bad because I know that they get warnings. Like, people like that be getting warning after warning after warning. But that pride, that spirit of pride, Leviathan, he do not let that person's heart go for real. Like, the Leviathan, it coils around the heart, and it's like the scales of Leviathan is so tightly together that nothing can get through, right? So you're trying to tell somebody, hey, stop doing that, stop doing that, stop doing that. It's gonna catch up with you. It's gonna catch up with you. It's gonna catch up with you, right? And then they like, they think they invincible, like to be caught up with, or they got enough leverage that they, don't have to pray for him. Pray for him. You feel me? Just pray for him. But in Diddy's sense, this is judgment. See, yeah, never mind. It's judgment because God had given him grace too. That's the sad part. God had given him grace, right? He given him grace, and then he took that grace for granted. We like people to be taking that grace for granted, and when he pulled that grace back, when he says, "Okay, you want to be that," because I've seen videos over the years that have been warning Diddy, stop, diddler, stop what you're doing, and but see, nobody who did these videos had actual physical proof that he was doing it. God had revealed to them that he was, being. Anyways, All right, we started Romans 1, verse 18. What is revealed in God's anger from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of people who, in their wickedness, keep suppressing the truth? Because what is known about God is plain to them, since God has made it plain to them. Listen, since God has made it plain to them, Lord have, since God has made it. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, forever. Since the creation of the universe, his invincible qualities, both his eternal power and his divine nature, have been clearly seen because they can be understood from what he has made. So God is real from what he has made. Clear example, we just saw that event that happened on April 8th. Clear example. We don't need to know nothing else. The oceans divide themselves. The oceans don't meet. The Antarctic and the Atlantic do not cross into each other. The Pacific and the Atlantic do not. If you look at the map, there's a divide in the ocean. That's a God thing. That's a God thing. That's not, oh, because the water pH is different and the salt is different. No. Because if you remember, there's a flood that every nation, every country, every continent has a depiction of the flood. So God rained out this whole entire thing, and the waters were divided. They're divided. That's a God thing. Always understand that. Never get beside yourself to think, come on now, don't let the devil fool you. Do not let the devil fool you. Do you hear me? And it says, therefore, they have no excuse. There's no excuse for you to choose another God. There's no excuse. Unless you want to be God yourself, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Because although they know who God is, they do not glorify him as God or thank him. On the contrary, they have become futile in their thinking, and their undiscerning hearts have become darkened. Claiming to be wise, they have become fools. In fact, They have exchanged the glory of the immortal God for mere images, like a mortal human being, or like birds, animals, and reptiles. This is why God has given them up to this vileness of their hearts, lust, to the shameful misuse of each other's bodies. They have exchanged the truth of God for falsehood by worshiping and serving created things rather than the Creator. Praise be to God forever. Amen. This is why God has given them up to degrading passions, so that their women exchange natural sexual relations for unnatural. And likewise, the men giving up natural relations with the opposite sex burn with passion for one another, men committing shameful acts with one another and receiving in their own persons the penalty appropriate to their perversion. In other words, since they have not considered God worth knowing, God has given them up to worthless ways of thinking, so that they do improper things. They are filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and vice, stuffed with jealousy, murder, quarreling, dishonesty, and ill will. They are gossips, slanderers, haters of God. They are insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They plan evil schemes. They disobey their parents. They are brainless, faithless, heartless, and ruthless. They know well enough God's righteous decree that people who do such things deserve to die. Yet, not only do they keep doing them, but they applaud others who do the same. So I always when I bring this verse up, I'll be trying to ask people, stop supporting people that do these things, because all you're showing is that somewhere in your heart, you're like this. If you're not like this yet completely, you on your way. So we're going to move on to the next video, which is Charleston White. I had seen it on, I don't even know where I seen this on. Maybe Instagram, but I'm not using Instagram right now. So I was going to use it to do something on TikTok. And then I was like, well, y'all know the story. So with that being said, I am going to hit the button. And I haven't listened to this either. So we in this together today. We in this together because this is different. I'll be watching some other guys, like Christian content creators, and they be doing this a little bit. So I mean, like, I kind of enjoy it, but I don't know if I enjoy it because I like to watch the videos beforehand, but I haven't really watched it. I just watched the first 3 seconds where it says when a woman, when a man does a woman wrong thing. Okay, so let's see. Hold on, y'all, because I really wanted to start at the beginning. All right, y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, I just want to make sure you're ready. Hold on.
When a man does a woman bad, he drives her to her religion. He drives her to her belief system. She would start going to church. She would become celibate. She would stop having interaction with other men. So no.
Okay. A little backstory. It's so crazy because it's true. All right, so when I met my son's father, I was 20. I think I had E when I was 21, 22. Hold on, y'all, because I want to make sure I get this right story, because I don't need nobody coming back but like, she lied. I didn't lie. I don't remember these dates. This is a long time ago. That's 17 years ago. I was 21. I had to do the math because the math wasn't mathing in my head, but I was 21. And I had met this older guy, which is Elijah's father. And he didn't tell me his real age, okay? So, like, I hadn't had a lot of boyfriends like that. So I had my first, and I was with him all through high school. And then when we broke up, I met a guy in Colorado and dated him for a while. And we were supposed to kind of like, I think we were supposed to, well, no, we were supposed to get married, engaged, all of that type of stuff. In between that, I did date. Like, so I dated and I went on dates with a few people. But as far as like real like relationships where I really claimed like the person, yeah, I think it's just those two, because everybody else I just kind of dated in between. And it wasn't a lot of everybody else's because I was in long-term relationships for good minutes, like, because I started dating my first like right like 9th grade. So we were together for a good minute, and he broke my heart, and I did not go to God. It was my son's father that took me through it, that made me go, I'm tired of running from you, God. I cannot do this by myself. Obviously, I do not know what I'm doing, and I need help. So I think that's funny when he said that, because it is partial. I gave partial surrender when all of this stuff happened with my son's father. I say partial because I was still like fornicating. I was still sleeping with him every now and then I had another relationship that I ended up in after him. Yeah. So I was saved, but I was not sanctified. I was saved, but I was not sanctified. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, and then like when everything hit the fan, like for real, I did go celibate. Like I hadn't, before my last relationship, I had not had sex for 5 years. So like 5 years, I was like, you know what? So when I got into my last one, yeah, 5 years I had went without anything, nothing. Okay, so anyways, because even when I dated the guy before, I had dated him the right way. Like there was no sex. We really dated, and then we really assessed the situation, and the assessment was that we didn't fit. It wasn't going to work. Not that he was a bad person. He wasn't. There was even a point where right before I got with my ex, that I got a message from that guy, and he said, teach me how to love you right. And I said, well, yeah, that's too much of the business. But he did say that, which was that's very like, he didn't have to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like, and he was serious. He was very serious. So, but I was already vested in that other situation. So, okay, here we go.
Normally when a woman gets done wrong, she don't run to men for healing. So when you get done wrong, you don't run to do wrong, you run to do right. Meaning when a woman gets her heart broken, she goes and fixes her heart. So she don't involve herself with other men. She don't take time getting back at the man because she got to fix her.
Yeah, of course.
We already know a man's going to be a man. And what do men typically do? Break a woman's heart. That's been traditional. Okay. So why are we trying to change this?
Why is it traditional for a man to break a woman's heart? Like, that don't make sense to me. Go ahead.
So the woman never got worse because she got her heart broken. She always gotten better because she's been done wrong. And the man always sees the woman gets better and realize I fucked up and realize I messed up, and something changes about him so he don't do this. So normally the woman keeps elevating and makes the man elevate, even though he's wrong.
I kind of get it, but I probably had to watch the whole entire thing for complete context. But I do see what he's saying. I just don't. I think I'm tired of hearing the narrative that like a man got to do a woman wrong for him to be better. Yeah, I'm tired of women's hearts being the teaching ground for men to get better. They should just want to be better overall, like without all of that. Just the same way that they want to be good at video games, it's the same way they want to be good at sports. It's the same way they want to be good at academics. They should want to be better people. And that's for men and women. But I'm just saying, based on what he just said, let's stop making each other's heart the training grounds for being better people, and then just be better people. Let's just do that, because that don't make no sense. Because again, we're leaving trails and trails of people that feel bitter, and then they feel rejected, and they feel used, and they feel all of these things, and it's unnecessary. When if we really submit our lives a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Christ, and we really work on ourselves with Jesus Christ, right? And then we stay single until Christ shows us who our spouse is, we would have a better world. And so, with that being said, I think this was pretty good. This was different, you guys. It was different. It was pretty good. I kind of enjoyed doing it. So hopefully this allows you to drop a comment. Tell me your thought, your process. What do you think about these situations? And I apologize again for these videos that have the cussing in it. I got a couple more videos from pastors. They don't got no cussing in that. I know that. And then, but I won't do those today. I'll do those on another day and see what your guys' thoughts are, what your feelings are, what you think, like what is going on here? What is going on? We got a little something going up our sleeves. You get what I'm saying? A little something going up our sleeves. And sorry, y'all. What be happening sometimes is like people be peopling, and I be trying to figure out why is they peopling me. And so you guys, thank you again for your time. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for everything. Thank you to my new subscribers. Super dope. Like, okay, you guys, for real. So dope. Like, God is so good. I want to thank y'all, but I got to give glory and honor to God, because this is a God thing in real life. Like, I have to give glory and honor to God, because this is a God thing. This is a God thing. Like, this is a God thing. Like, this is a God thing. I be wanting to like not cry, because he's really good to me. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's really good to me when I wasn't good to myself. He's really good to me when I have turned my back on him. He's really good to me when I picked everything aside from him. He still was good to me. Even in his chastisement, he was good to me. Even in like the training and the I don't know where you at God moments, he was still good to me. Like, he's just so good. He is so good to me. And he's so good to you too, because you woke up this morning. You have the opportunity to choose life. You have an opportunity to pick up your cross and carry that daily. You have an opportunity to look inside the mirror and say, I can do better. I can choose better. I can be better through Jesus Christ, though, because you cannot do it yourself. I'm telling you, I tried to do everything on my own. I tried to be better before God could come and make me better. And then I realized, like, I wasted time trying to be better before coming to Christ, when really I need to come to Christ to be better. Because the word is going to convict you, but he's also going to tell you how. You got to set stuff at the altar. You got to set your sins at the altar and don't pick them up. You gotta safeguard your salvation. You gotta shut things down, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the will of the Father. And I don't think people really understand that. We could have a bunch of ideals and thoughts and things that we want to do, these great things that would be grand, right? That would elevate us, but it does not elevate the kingdom of God. It does not elevate the Lord Jesus Christ. And it will not bring all men unto Christ so that they can have the opportunity at true life. Come on now, true life and true freedom and joy, right? That exceeds, it don't make sense, this joy that you get, because there be times when things are happening and I'm like, I should be toe up, really toe up, because the things that are happening, because that warfare is really on your mind a lot of the times, right? And Satan, he knows what is going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, right? And then you call on Jesus and you ask him to comfort you. And he sends the Holy Spirit to do that, to comfort you. And you are not alone, even though you're alone. And then the joy comes and you go, I shouldn't be happy in this space, but I am happy here. I shouldn't have joy in this moment, but I do have joy, because the Bible says to take joy. And when diverse trials and tribulations come, because that creates perseverance, right? It creates a steadfastness in you. I do want to read something. When you look up, hold on, you guys. Because you know I be riding. All right, hold on. And I like to do definitions, you know that, right? So, all right. So I looked up the word warfare, and it said engagement in or the activities involved in war or conflict. I was like, okay, that's good. So I looked up war. I said, it says a state of armed conflict between, and I put light and darkness, but it said like good and evil. So I said light and darkness, okay? Because we are the kingdom of true light when you choose Jesus Christ and you're not pretending to be an angel of light and you choose Lucifer. Because don't forget, he comes as an angel of light too. So then conflict, a serious disagreement or argument, typically a protracted. And I was like, well, what is protracted? And it said long-lasting one. So when you become a soldier of Christ, you enlist in an army to be in the fight of a long-lasting conflict with the enemy. So this is not no short-term conflict. I used to be like, oh my God, I just finished this warfare with this thing. Why is it happening again? Because it's a long-lasting conflict. And once I understood that this is a long-lasting conflict, things hit different, right? Because it's like, okay, so I got to stay on guard. Then, hold on, there's another verse, because, I be writing. Hold on. So I was, like, oh my God, why are you allowing this grace to happen to me? And I'm like, and he's like, well, first of all, you the one that was in sin. And the wages of sin is death. And I gave you grace. I gave you grace. I gave you grace. I gave you grace. I gave you warnings. I gave you grace. I gave you grace. And you wanted to play in my face. Ooh, I'm sorry. Look, I'll be saying, oh, you want to play in my face? No, that's not what he said. Okay, look. So, I found this verse. You know what I'm saying? This verse that, made me go, okay. All right. So in 2 Timothy 2:3, it says, I understand and accept my share in suffering disgrace as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. And when I read that, I said, oh, but see, that's the tactic of the enemy. That's where the shaming comes in, right? The shame. And that's why I love to I'm going to tell my story, because when the enemy come through, I don't need him lying. But people still believe the lies anyways, because, Satan is more of a charmer than anything. And it says also verse 2 Timothy 2:4. And it says, I understand no soldier on duty gets involved with civilian affairs, since we have to please our commanding officer. And our commanding officer is God. And, you know, if you know anything about the Army, like civilian affairs is not our business. Like we got to stay focused. And so with that being said, understand that as a believer, you will experience some disgrace, even when it's unfairly done to you. And that is what you signed up for, because again, people are able to be used by the enemy to be used against you to crush your witness, because he wants to make sure that nobody else gets saved, not even the person that he's using. Remember that, okay? Also, it says the understanding that you don't get in civilian affairs, and that's why you can't go everywhere. You can't be with everybody. You can't hang with everybody, because part of those things are civilian affairs, and it does not please the commanding officer to see you out there, because then you're giving the enemy the ability to disgrace you and shame you even more than what he's going to try to attempt to do, even when you don't do anything. Satan is good at creating a narrative even when you don't do anything. If you are in the wrong area around the wrong person, it still can be utilized in his favor, because you can say that you went there for this, but if you are shot in a compromising position or compromising photo, like, you know, somebody we know that's a minister that was with the diddler, even if that man didn't do anything, now that he was in that room, he was in that space, his name can be utilized for anything. And so he's actually guilty. Our system is really like this. You are guilty until proven innocent. Understand that. You are guilty until proven innocent. And now that we have a jury of our peers, our social media peers, you guilty. Because they going to find you guilty whether you're guilty or not. Okay? Just saying, like, that's just what it is. So I absolutely love you guys. I adore you. We're going to pray out. If you are driving, do not bow your head and close your eyes. But if you are not driving and you are able to bow your heads and close your eyes, let's go. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. In Jesus' name, amen. And I'm going to play my commercial to my products, because I sell products, you know, that the Lord gave me the recipe. They actually work. They are actually biblically based, and you need them in your home because I said so. Yeah, because I said so. All right, y'all. Peace out.
Just love this James butter. It's really good on your hair.
My favorite has got to be the Peppermint Mist leave-in conditioner. It's so soothing to your scalp. I've had dry, itchy scalp, and I tell you, it's amazing.
My favorite product with Jay's Butter is the natural flaxseed elixir, especially on the hair that's not mine.
Y'all know what? I really love Jay's Butter. I love Jay's Butter.